It's different. It's I don't even want to utilize the word weird because that word has taken on so many type of meanings that it might not even be form fitting for the situation. Yeah, situations like that,
Hurry up! Be cool, man.
they do have people like myself who came from a different generation, an older generation. Like, man, look at what things have progressed into, right? And the reason for babies and women and people who aren't in the streets not being a part of it, staying not a part of it, is because they don't have the same type of moral compass or code or principles, right? So you cannot shoot a civilian, then they live and expect that the civilian's gonna keep it gangster. That doesn't make any sense. You shot a civilian. A civilian is gonna act like a civilian, right? These are the things people aren't factoring in, right? Just because you shoot somebody does not mean they're gonna die. Now let's just say that they don't die. What happens then? What is your next step then? You shot somebody, they don't die, they go to the police. Now you go to the jail. It can't be free niggas if you're condoning an activity that's only going to lead you to prison. That doesn't even make any sense, right? So the reason why not shooting kids and not shooting women made sense is because it didn't even keep things inside of the streets, which is where people tried to keep it, right? If you was on some gangster stuff and you want to keep it gangster, then you have to also keep it gangster in that realm, right? So if you're at church, that's not gangster, right? So you see your op at church, you don't shoot your op because that's not keeping it gangster. You're not even in the gangster spot. Gangsters don't go to church. You went to church as a person who was praising the Lord, as a servant to the Lord, not as a gangster, right? So when you went there with a whole different mindset because there are no successful gangsters. At the end of the day, you're utilizing something that is deemed illegal to get to a place that is legal, right? To a place where you don't have to worry about that anymore if you're utilizing your mind. And if that's not the situation, then you're not a gangster and you're not anything but a dummy. So I don't I can't speak for those people. I don't know about that. Now if you're trying to keep it gangster, then there are realms to be gangster. There are times to be gangster. There are people to be gangster with. And if those aren't the times, realms, and people that you're doing it with, then what the hell are you doing?
True, man. Another thing is speaking like now that you mentioned like guys going to prison and stuff like that, man. I remember last time you were in here, man. You spoke about how like Aaron Hernandez, ex-Patriots Titan, he was locked up with you. So recently there's a documentary that came out about him. So how do you feel about that, bro?
So honestly, I didn't even watch the documentary. And rest in peace to Aaron Hernandez. With respect to just a little bit that I do know, because I didn't run into him for his whole life. I only know him from prison. Right after the situation happened and he fell from grace, that's where I met him. Yet the funny part about life is that you know a man twice in his life, and free Trinity, may he, you know, I hope they do let him out. That's who told me that, and I'm gonna tell you exactly when it is. I'll repeat it. You know the true nature of a man only twice in his life: when he believes he's up, and when he knows he's down. So the Aaron Hernandez that I met was the real Aaron Hernandez, right? And I say that to say, not once did I get any bad feeling, bad energy, bad inkling, bad anything. Not anything negative from that man, right? Everything that people are saying about him now in his death is more or less just to, for the nationalized, to get headlines and to make things more bigger than what they really need to be. And that's fine for the powers that be and the people who's making money off of it, because at the end of the day, I'm not Aaron Hernandez. I'm not even related to Aaron Hernandez. So the people who really need to feel some type of way about that are the people who are directly connected to him. The same way when things happen to me, the people who need to feel some type of way and be in the uproar are the people who are directly connected to me. And even though I have a connection to him because we spent time in the same place, he's not my family member. And I cannot feel more outraged than a person who spent time with him and knows his whole life and history. You feel what I'm saying? Yet I will say, in respect to what I do know about him, he was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing negative to say about him. And whatever picture that people try to paint that goes against that, because this man went to trial, beat one of the trials, and was pretty much in a shoo-in to flip his case originally that he was found guilty for and serving time for, because that was a case that was based off of the case that he beat, right? So knowing all of that, not only do I have nothing bad to say about Aaron Hernandez, I'm a little bit baffled that anybody else would. You know what I'm saying? Yet I didn't see the documentary. I don't know how they highlighted him or how they painted him, and hopefully it was in a better light than national headlines that have already came about. Peace.
So how do you feel about the industry now with everything that is coming out? And do you feel like that affects you and other New England artists also?
I think New England artists need to continue to band together and stop drinking Haterade, you know, because clearly they selling it for cheap and everybody got some. I think it's ill. I think it's amazing with everything that's happening. And I think it's amazing, especially for New England, because we are the main region of people that say, yo, why we ain't on? Why we can't get on? Yo, why this never happened for us? Or, yo, we got next. For 10 to 15 years, I've been hearing Boston got next, New England got next, Connecticut got next, New Hampshire got next, Vermont got next, Rhode Island got next. We ain't never been now. We always had next. Why? The funny part about that is I'm happy about that, because now we have now. You want to know why? Because Hollywood's in an uproar. And the fact that we always had next shows people that we was never part of that goofy shit that was going on, right? Dudes is having freak parties allegedly and beating up women and doing a whole bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with the culture that we have, right? Even though our culture is plagued with hate. One thing I could tell you is a majority of the shit that was happening in the industry, and excuse my French, is not happening here, right? So that's probably why New England wasn't a part of that fold. And luckily for us, that's the case, because now when we come out and we tell our stories and it doesn't have anything to do, it's not riddled with a bunch of secret sexual innuendos about being weird and freaky, guess what? People have to realize that it's real shit, because we was never a part of that, right? While Hollywood was Hollywood, New York was a part of it. California, clearly, because Hollywood's in California, was a part of it, right? You even got surrounding spots like Las Vegas as a part of it. You got Florida to go all the way over there. You got people from Chicago. You got Tupac to go all the way over to Hollywood to be a part of all of that weirdo stuff, only to realize it and then start telling people like, yo, them shiny suits ain't it. You know? Do you really want to sell your soul to the devil? Literally. And the answer is no. You feel what I'm saying? He went through all of that to tell us like, nah, don't do it. And we was like not realizing, because you don't know what you don't know, right? And not realizing that all of that stuff is going on that would have probably, if we was indebted into that, caused us a bunch of problems, right? And here we are. Now it's time. Hollywood's crumbling. So entertainment is all about entertainment now, and music is gonna be about music now. So that's what leaves real people and individuals in states and cities and regions like us to come about and now showcase our talent the way we really wanted to, because that's what we've been trying to do, right? And give people the real, the raw, just like this. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you are preaching, man. No wonder why I call you the voice of New England, man. No bullshit, man. But yo, one thing, man, I noticed that you had a pool party, bro. A pool party with one of P. Diddy's artists, man. But by the way, right now, bro, his name is going crazy out there right now. He's like, it's a lot of, rumors, whatever the case is. His name is hot right now.
Right.
So how did that pool party go, man? Was it anything like that saying,
Well, nah. It was. It's funny because it was actually called the Freaknik, And shout out to Ines, man, and that pool party was lit. That was actually on my birthday, August 3rd, which is the first one. And they had a second one. I didn't even get to make it because a lot of weird stuff ended up happening. And luckily, by the grace of God, I'm still here, able to talk to you. Yeah, that pool party was lit. And no, it was nothing like what's probably was happening in P. Diddy's freak house or whatever they call it. You know, I felt like bro took a situation, a bad situation, and turned it into a positive, exactly like I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And much love and respect to that brother. Ines is probably one of the most lyrical artists I've ever heard in my life. When it comes to rap, he's definitely in my top 5, and that's because after my situation with him, like after meeting him personally and realizing, yo, this dude is who he says he is, you go back and then you start to listen to stuff. So it's different. Maybe you had Jay-Z in your top 5 a year ago. He might not be there now, right? Because when it comes, I got a top 5 for everything, even for R&B. And at one point, R. Kelly was in it. And I don't take people out of it because of what they're going through, yet I will take people out if I feel like what you're preaching is not who you truly are as an artist. That for me, authenticity is a part of it, right? So when somebody's authentic, that for me speaks volumes. So meeting this man and then realizing he is who he says he is spoke volumes for me. And being at that pool party, and it being regular, not a bunch of weird, freaky stuff that nobody could talk about because of NDAs, made it even more better for me. You know what I'm saying? The love, the support, energy, everything that I got was real. You know what I'm saying? And this is a brother who was pretty much victimized. And I don't want to utilize the word victimized because as men, that's not something that people want to. I'll say, you know, Diddy tried to abuse his discretion and power with this man in his graces, or with this person as a pupil or student that should have been learning from him. He tried to abuse his power and tried to have a whole bunch of people go across a bridge to get cheesecake. If you know the story, you know the story. And if you don't, look it up. Ines, Bad Boy Making the Band, look it up, right? And so he actually took that story and turned it into him being a person who now sells Philly cheesecakes, right? So Ines has Philly cheesecakes and they fire, so go get you one, right? Go look that up. Yeah, and things like that I'm always gonna want to be a part of, because somebody utilizing a situation that could have been bad and flipping it around and turning that into a positive is always gonna be, you know, something that I'm gonna be behind. So again, shout out to them, shout out to him, and yeah, that was an ill day, and word, yeah, I'm just reminiscing part of self, yeah.